Alright, today we're gonna try to find out if it's possible to put any animal to sleep using the power of the chi. But most importantly, we're gonna find out if I can do it without using the power of the chi. Alright, welcome back to Magic Isn't Real, the place where I replicate the claims of the supernatural with my very natural skills. Today I want to talk about Tadashi Kanzawa, the man who claims he can put any animals to sleep with the power of the chi. I mean animals, he makes animals fall asleep. He doesn't put animals to, like, he's not killing any animal. Every time I go out and perform some magic for some people, one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, was that real? Like, do you actually have supernatural abilities? Like, was that real magic? And I always answer honestly, which is, no, I don't. All I do is just pure, very natural skills. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, the follow-up question most of the time is, but do you think that there is magic out there? My answer is usually very honest, and it's the thing that I've been trying to say since I started this channel, and some of you just cannot get past this. In my many years of studying the art of magic, of studying martial arts, of researching the supernatural, because I am genuinely very curious about it, I haven't found any solid evidence to demonstrate that anything supernatural does exist. Now, most people usually drop it at there, but a friend of mine decided to go a bit more specific, and he was like, what do you mean you haven't found anything? Like when you see something, like, how do you know? And I'm like, well, usually what happens is that when I see a claim of the supernatural in real life or in a video, I can usually see the magic trick behind it. And that's when she hit me with, what about the guy who can put animals to sleep with the power of the chi? I was completely baffled. I had no idea this existed. I had no idea this was even a thing. So, is it magic? I don't know. Is it supernatural? I don't know. Are we gonna take a look and I'm gonna try to see if I can replicate it? Where do you think you are? So the video in question comes from a TV show that was developed back in 2010 called Stan Lee's Superhumans. Rest in peace, my man. I am so sorry I dragged you into this. Now, in order to have a proper analysis and a proper critique of this particular claim of the supernatural that has been done in this particular video, it's important to break down what is Stan Lee's Superhumans and what was the show trying to achieve. The main thing was obviously entertainment, with the idea that Stan Lee, the creator of some of our best fictional superhero, is now going out in the real world trying to find if there's any superhuman in real life. They have featured a lot of people. Some people claiming to have the supernatural abilities, and some people just like showcasing abilities. Okay, listen, I didn't mean to laugh. I'm not like, this is really impressive. Like, this man has the strongest head in the world, I think. Like, he can, at the end of the video, if you watch the video, like, he's just like hammering a nail with his head.
Stop it. Get some help.
Listen, it is impressive. This man can probably knock me complete, like, he can put me to sleep with the power of his head. I just wanted to give you an example of the kind of people that they are featuring in the show, which means, like, sometimes it's not really supernatural, it's just like a very, very impressive skill. There's also another video with another guy that was featured on the show claiming to have real telekinesis. The guy in question was Guy Bavli. Let's take a look at how he's being introduced in the video.
Out of all the superhumans I've investigated, this next man claims to have a power that just seems impossible.
Telekinesis is basically the ability to move objects without the use of a touch.
Here's the thing, and I thank this man, Guy Bavli, a lot, because this man is a magician like me. He's a performer, and he is the one who posted this video on his channel, and here's what he says in the description of the video. I'm gonna read it for you. Guy Bavli has never claimed to have supernatural powers, yet the show created a voiceover to make it look like he has claimed it. He has never claimed to have real powers. He uses lots of techniques he learned and developed over many years to create what others call telekinesis. Now, this is key. This is really important to know because this makes me understand what is the purpose of the show. Besides pure entertainment, is also to just kind of try to convince you that this ability are out there, even when clearly they were not. All the tricks the guy does are pretty much very much like what we do. Like a lot of the tricks that he does in this video are tricks that I have performed.
Close your eyes.
And he's demonstrated his ability several times to the doctor.
I felt 2 touches right here.
You feel a touch now? Where? The host of the show is trying to basically almost play the role of a skeptic.
I need some scientific proof of what you're doing is real.
I'm taking Guy to a neuropsychologist.
Cool. What does that do? If you want some scientific evidence, we need to take this man to a lab who has multiple tools to measure what's going on around it, not just in his head. Also, we need to remove all of his clothes. He doesn't have to perform naked, but someone needs to check that he doesn't have any props. Listen, before in this video, the guy, again, he was playing the role of a skeptic and he was like, I'm gonna take him to a hardware store that he's never seen before. Again, what does that do? A professional magician, in my opinion, should be able to perform magic anywhere with anything. And if you watch the clip, you will see that, sure, maybe he's never been in that hardware store before, but every time he performs something with an object, my God, he's handling it. Long story short, I just wanted to show you that the purpose of the show is not to actually challenge these people, it's more to showcasing them.
Many people have claimed to have powers over animals. So for this demo, I've brought Kanzawa all the way from Japan, and I've picked the animals.
So they are at the Sweetwater Alpaca Ranch. These alpacas are used to be with humans, as in like people go and visit this place like often, so much so that they often do photo shoots. One of the alpacas was even featured in a Modern Family episode. So these are alpacas that they do rent for Hollywood production. So there are alpacas that are used to be around cameras and they're used to be around people. I feel like this is something that's important that needs to be said.
Kanzawa Sensei wants to move further away from the alpaca, as he believes his power is stronger from a distance.
All right, this to me is very interesting for many reasons because I've seen other videos of him performing this, and even in the same video later, he's gonna do a demonstration with some bison and he's gonna go really close to them. Sometimes he needs to go really close, sometimes his power works better from a distance. Like what is this ability? Another reason why I find this interesting is because he says, oh, this works better from a distance. I don't want to say that he wants everybody to move away from the alpacas so that someone else could do something to the alpacas. I don't have any evidence for that. It's complete speculation. Another thing that I'm thinking is this. This has been going on for hours now. So now imagine that everybody moves away from the alpacas, including the people that work at the ranch. And now everybody's watching this man using his energy and they don't want to be disrespectful. They don't want to, talk over him or make any noise. So suddenly we went from a very busy alpaca ranch to a complete quiet and calm situation. Could make any animal just chill. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. We're all quiet. It's nap time. Again, this is just an hypothesis that I'm just like throwing out there. Let's talk about the owner of the alpaca ranch, Cecilia Seca.
And do you think they'll be responsive to a man trying to put them to sleep with chi?
Well, I guess we'll see.
In the morning where the TV show, the TV crew arrived and whatever, one of her alpacas was half paralyzed. And she tried to call her veterinarian, which wasn't available. Now, apparently, when they were done filming, Tadashi Kanzawa was like, oh, do you want me to take a look at this alpaca? She was like, well, she was obviously amazed by this. I'm like, sure, give it a go. So he went there, he took a look at the alpaca, he did something, and suddenly the alpaca can finally walk, and she seems like fine. To you, this could be proof that he actually does have this like ability. To me, it seems something like very suspicious that on the day that the guy who can put animals to sleep is gonna arrive, one of the alpaca is suddenly paralyzed. Now, again, this is pure speculation. All I'm trying to do today is telling you this video doesn't prove that this man can do this stuff. I'm gonna play you the second segment because I want you to see how every time someone is talking, they get cut out. Like they did it with Guy Bavli also. If you watch his video, you will notice even when he's talking about telekinesis, you will notice that he's not claiming to have it. He's like explaining what telekinesis is. But it's been cut in a way as if he's talking about his own abilities.
Kinesis is basically the ability to move objects without the use of a touch.
Guy Bavali says he has the power to warp, distort, and move objects.
They've been asked a question, and then the editor gets the part that he needs to fit in the story to put in the video.
Kanzawa Sensei, who claims he can put any animal into a trance. I've called in farmer Frank Donato and veterinarian Dr. Lynn McEwen to put him to the test.
Once again, that's not how you put this man to the test. It needs to be a controlled environment where we have all sorts of different animals in different stalls, and then someone has to pick them up random, and then like this isn't a way to test him. This is just a way to give him a stage to perform.
These animals are some of the most powerful animals in the world.
Do they normally lay down?
Sitting down? No, that's not a typical behavior of a bison.
So bison don't sit down.
Are you gonna have to use a different technique to put the bison to sleep compared to the alpacas?
I always use the same technique, whatever animal I'm putting in a trance.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Except from when I have to go all the way far because my powers work better there, or when I have to be really close because it's exciting for camera if I get close to an animal that's very dangerous.
They're incredibly territorial, so just being in the field with them is a huge risk.
I wonder why that sentence was said by the host and not by one of the experts, you know?
Frank, have you ever seen them do this before?
No, and what's really interesting about this is that you might see this from time to time, but why at this particular moment would the animals all be laying down at one time while he's out there?
See, that moment, okay, first of all, do me a favor, find the original video and play a drinking game. Every time the camera cut, you drink. You be dead. So which one is it? Does it never happen, or does it happen from time to time? And I love how he's trying to recover by saying like, well, I don't know why they're doing it at this particular time. Well, if it happens from time to time, it happens from time to time. Sure, because there's a guy with magical chi power who's putting it to sleep. That's clearly the only explanation why they're doing it at this particular time. I don't see any other possibility whatsoever.
Doctor, is there any way to explain this in the realm of science?
Not in the medicine I know.
That is a great answer. It's exactly what I would say, as in like, not that I know. He refuses to go like, oh no, science cannot explain this. I like that he kept that answer as honest as he could be.
Now I'm gonna leave it to you to decide if he's superhuman.
All right, as the man himself just said, I'm also gonna leave it up to you to decide if this guy has, superpowers or not. My answer is what I have been screaming since the beginning of this video, which is I don't know. All I know today is that this video is not good enough evidence to demonstrate that he has this abilities. Maybe this guy is just really, 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 really good with animals. Or maybe he's drugging them. Until properly tested, there are like other options. And I want to finish with this. Here's what I thought. What I need to replicate is not so much his ability. I need to replicate what we saw. So what we saw was an incredibly very edited video to make it look like this guy can put animals to sleep. So here's what I thought. Let me go to an alpaca ranch, which I'm lucky enough that there's one close by. And it's called the Alpaca Loom, and like I'm gonna leave the link down below. If you live here in South Africa, you should go check it out. It's fantastic. You can go there, you can hang out with the alpacas. This isn't a sponsored video. I just legitimately want to give them a shout out because they let me be, they let me go there and film and try to do what Tadashi did. Here's the result.
any way to explain this in the realm of science?
Not in the medicine I know.
Now, before you accuse me of anything weird, here's how I did it. I just did it. I just spent, I don't know, we must have spent 2 to 3 hours there. We did the whole tour. The guy told us about the alpacas. We went into the, what they call the petting area, so you can be very close to them. And I just kept myself really calm, really calm. I went and go, I tried to move my hands. And like one of them, you saw it, one of them just legitimately yawned and went down. Now, maybe I have cheap hours and I don't know. Or maybe this stuff could just possibly happen. Animals read you. And if you're calm enough, they will follow your lead. Is it a supernatural ability or is it very natural? All right, once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, share, and thank you so much to the people who has just joined my Patreon page. You guys are the best. Now, before I leave, I want to mention something. In the beginning of the video, I played this clip of me performing this particular trick at the bar. What's amazing about this clip is that I did not make this. Like someone was filming it over there, and then they did this little edit, and then they send it to me. And I love it when people like it so much that they feel the need. Like this guy went to the trouble of like do a little edit for me. So here's what I thought. I'm gonna teach you how to perform this trick because I think it's worth learning it, and I think it's very relevant to what we just saw. It's basically a trick that requires you to ask a lot of questions to the person you're performing it with. Those are leading questions, but you have to make it look as if like their answer is completely free and normal, even though the questions leads you to specific places. So I think it's very relevant to what we just saw. Oh, and if you're still here, in your comments, you should also say something like, I don't know, let's just 6 of hearts. Sure, why not? And I'll see you next time. Where did it go?